Hello everyone. Very good evening. So today we are going to have the demo of ClickComply tool, which is a versatile tool that specialized in gap discovery and finding the audit loops and classification and automated DPO identification. So there are a lot of features that has been built in this ClickComply tool. So we are going to have Rahul sir. So without wasting time, so we are welcoming Rahul sir to present his demonstration.
Thank you.
Floor
Thank you
is
so
over to
much.
you, Rahul sir. Yeah.
Yes. So, firstly, good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for Navi sir for giving me this opportunity. And hats off to you for all the tremendous work that you've been doing all these years in this field. So that's why I was very excited to launch my idea and be the first person to, probably not the first, but the second person to come and share with you what I'm trying to build here, which is like a tool for the DPOs and for all these companies that have now started rambling for all the compliance. I'll tell you a bit about myself. So I am a lawyer. I've been practicing for the last 6 years. And for the last 1 year, I was in Madrid, Spain. I was working at Ernst& Young in their digital laws department. So there, I used to work on a lot of compliance for GDPR, advisory, compliance, both. So there, what I found was that the GDPR, which was an act that we all know was passed in 2016, I saw it in full effect. Um, it was a very stringent act, which our DPDPA has also followed, which I'm very glad about because the fines here are very high, just like the GDPR. So there, I was tasked on a specific task on whether there are international transfers involved in contracts. So as you all know, lawyers go through hundreds and thousands of contracts for clients. They have to do it manually. They have to go to the specific data protection clause, then extract it, then do the analysis of it. It takes a tremendous amount of effort. It takes tremendous amounts of patience and accuracy for lawyers to give specific output, which makes it very high stakes, and that can lead to human errors. Now, what is happening is I picture the same thing, same problems coming to the Indian market. Because as you know, when GDPR came in, the entire compliance industry there in Europe just exploded. It became like a $5 billion industry overnight. The same, now that the rules are out, they've been given a year and a half to comply. The same is going to happen here. So this is just like a basic background of what I am and where I am coming from, the idea where it originated from. Now, after that, like this is what I said. The fines, as you all know, are the maximum fine is 250 crores. It's just a company ending a fine for a lot of small scale companies. The DPDP Act now has become so stringent that the mid market companies are stuck between the two extremes, whether we should go for a lawyer, whether we should make an in house team, whether we should get it outsourced. But the problem right now is that all these legacy tools that are originating in the US and Europe, they're too expensive. Manual takes a long time because I've lived the pain. So for that, I want to make a product to make the DPO's life and any in-house counsel's life very easier when it comes to DPDP compliance. Now, currently, the market standard is that most Indian companies are just doing compliance by spreadsheets, and that's a liability. If the data protection board asks for a ROPA, it can you generate in 5 minutes? Most can't. So that's why this product is it. And also the very fact that you have to map out what is protected data according to the DPDP Act, what is sensitive data, everything. which automatically comes into the ROPA and which automatically is a big part of compliance, because anytime an audit happens, especially the audits that we used to do and we faced in Europe, the first thing that auditors look at is the record of processing activity. So that has to be very, very accurate. And it's a living document. It's continuous compliance with that. Because if you don't do that, then you're straight up going to get fined. Now, since I've been back, what I've tried to focus on is because FDPP and Navi sir have been doing so much in this field. I have utilized the DGPSI principles, the 50 specs that have defined the Indian data sovereignty, which are the rules. So for that, I want to make an engine, which is my tool that will be the technology layer that scales to a lot of companies and synergizes with the framework that DGPI has built, is building, and is trying to implement. So um, the first thing that a product would do is, it's a very simple workflow. There are three features that I'm focusing on right now. The first feature is the forensic gap analysis, where you put in any contract. For example, you put in your data protection agreement. My tool will scan that. My tool will completely deconstruct it, and after that, it will give you a proper analysis of what is compliant, what is not compliant, extract the exact clause which is not compliant, give the legal rationale behind it. For example, according to Section 16 of the DPDPA Act, this is the wording and this is what they expect. So that is why this clause is not compliant with that. And the third thing that it would do is it would totally give you a fix. You can directly copy paste it into the wording of the contract, or you can edit it as you wish. But my tool will still give you recommendations for how to fix it. And I can say this with credibility is because I am a lawyer myself. I have done these kind of things before. And I have fed my tool myself with all the available information I have, all the contracts that I have been through, and I've been through hundreds of them. So it comes with a backing of an actual data protection lawyer. So the very accuracy that you would achieve from day one is very high. It's not like other AI tools or other products where the products have been built by tech guys that don't exactly understand the law. And they're mostly consent management, they're this, they're that. They involve a lot of features, but there is no contract analysis aspect to it. So my thing only focuses on the DPDP Act, which makes it hyper focused, and that is why I can assure that the accuracy level of it from day one is going to be very high, probably even way higher than a good data protection lawyer. And the second thing is that we've all seen AI hallucinations. In legal tech, a hallucination is a lawsuit, basically. You cannot ask a standard LLM to write your company privacy policy because it might cite GDPR rules that don't exist in the DPDPA. It's too risky. Where there is a hyper focused legal library, which the tool directly looks at, it doesn't hallucinate, it doesn't go anywhere else but to the material that has been already fed into it, makes it way more accurate. So that's why ClickComply would use retrieval augmented generation, which is like the RAG architecture. And we have vectorized the entire DPDP Act, the ministry rules, the MATI notifications, and I want to include the DGPSS standards because I went through them myself. And as a lawyer, I think they are or can at least be the standard in the future. When our AI does suggest a control, it isn't just guessing. It is pulling from a verified, knowledgeable base. So that's why, like, we call this deterministic compliance, where every output has a footnote to a specific section of the act. it will always cite the actual act. It will always give you a legal rationale behind its analysis, and according to that, it will give you an actual fix that you can implement, or that you can or any DPO or any in-house counsel can edit according to their company practices. But the standard layout will still be given. So that is one of our core features, where contract analysis is a big thing, because a regular company goes through hundreds of vendor agreements in a year. Now, the data discovery tool, which is also an important aspect of it. My tool will go through firstly the contracts, then my tool will integrate into the systems of companies. It will look at the legacy data, it will look at the legacy contracts that have been there, because all these contracts, for example, that have been signed 5 years ago, 10 years ago, even 2 years ago, before the DPDP Act came in, obviously will not have DPDP accurate provisions. So through that, it becomes a very deterministic way of getting out the protected data, which is a very important compliance aspect as per the law. So it'll take out literal identification of the personal data, which is your Aadhaar, your PAN, your biometric extraction, if it's in the contracts, if it's in your legacy database. It will statutorily tag by protection level. It will tell you if this is risky, if this is not risky, what needs to be done with it, how do you protect it. And it all gets automatically fed into the ROPA. Now, there's also contextual mapping to fiduciary obligations. There can be data fiduciaries or they can be data processors. It can be a two-way thing where everything in a synergized way is being provided for in this tool, where the DPO doesn't have to lift more than a finger. That's why the name ClickComply. You just click it and your compliance ready in 5 minutes. Of course, it depends on how much data there is. It depends on how many contracts. It depends on whatever legal database that you have. The timing obviously depends on that. But the whole idea is to minimize the grunt work and minimize the efforts, albeit to a very accurate level, of a DPO or his team, or any person who is in charge of a company and its data protection policies. Now, if I have to deep dive into the ROPA, there are at least 15 to 20 headers that have been mapped out. So what my tool would do is it would transition from a platform walkthrough, style slide of the dashboard, and it will automatically generate a ROPA. So, for example, like Section 8 of the Act mandates that data fiduciaries must be responsible for any processing. To be responsible, you must have a record of processing activities. So then ClickComply comes into the picture. It scans your data, it scans your headers, it uses AI to categorize data types, your PII versus your non PII. It maps the purpose to the data element automatically. What used to take a consultant about 40 hours now would be done in 40 seconds, because I've lived that pain. Whenever you have to make an actual record of processing activities, you have to, the client usually sends so much data, or even an in-house DPO will get so much data that making that Excel sheet or a Google Doc or whatever is the preferred way of capturing that becomes too exhausting. And when it becomes exhausting, when you have to put in 40 hours, 50 hours, 60 hours of your time just making those Excel sheets, just doing the grunt work, obviously it's prone to human errors. So if that is completely automized, and if you just have to have a manual hover over it and just to double check it, your entire effort reduces to a 1 hour job or a 2 hour job. Now, also the consent manager, which is Section 6 of the Act and is the heart of the Act, which a lot of other products just touch upon. They give you tools to have consent managers, which I also want to integrate in future versions. But the whole point of consent is that we have built a notice as a service API, which instead of hard coding a privacy notice into your app, you call ClickComply, you use this app. If the law changes or the ministry issues a new rule, you update it in our dashboard and reflects across all your digital touchpoints instantly. No code deployment needed, which is a very important because you have to have consent as your legal basis in many things that you do. Unless you have consent, you just have a shoddy privacy policy, then that you are liable to be fined. So also, what is a high priority section is that we recognize that the DPDP Act tells you what to do.
Rahul,
Yeah,
are you sharing the presentation or not?
I am. So this is just I'm telling you what
Okay,
I propose
okay,
to do, and I
okay,
have a demo, but that demo won't take more than 2 minutes.
okay,
So
okay,
I
okay.
just want to. If you want me to jump directly to the demo
No, no,
first, I can do that.
it's okay. I just wanted to know whether by mistake you have not uploaded the presentation.
No, no,
Okay,
no, no, no. That's in another slide because the thing is, the my actual product is still in development.
okay, okay, okay. Go ahead.
So yeah, so I have to like for the purpose of today's meeting, I want to tell you what I'm doing firstly because for you to be aware, and secondly, I just want to show you a short, very short workflow on how the product will actually work. But because you brought that up, I think I should straight up jump to that because that will probably solve a lot of doubts. You can still see my screen, right?
Not yet.
Can you see it now?
Not it, not it. You just shared, no, it was working that time.
Okay, I think the sharing stopped.
You just share once again. You just unshare it and share again.
Okay.
We are just seeing your camera
Yeah.
visuals.
Uh, Sorry.
Not it.
I'm not being able to click on the share option. I don't know why.
Okay.
Okay, so this is just like a demo of what the product will look like. So, for example, you can see there's a compliance audit, there's protected data, and there's a full ROPA metric. So you just what you have to do is you just have to upload an asset, which is any document that you have. It could be a contract, it can be a privacy policy or whatever. For example, I have a few contracts that I used to work in, so I'll just use one of those. So now you feed the contract into the tool. It will read and it will analyze everything, and then you just do a start legal audit. Now it will apply all the knowledge that I have fed into it, and it will my AI will then give you a solid analysis of what is compliant, what is not compliant, and how you can actually fix it with the legal rationale that model is using. Now, so because a lot of these contracts, Indian contracts still don't have DPDP accurate provisions, I have GDPR contracts. So the contract that I uploaded was worded for the GDPR. Now, when I put the contract in, this is the result that it gave. Now, for example, the compliance level is 15%, which is low. Naturally, because this contract is not for our Indian Act. This contract is made for the GDPR. So I'll just read. The provided DPA is drafted exclusively under the framework of the EU GDPR and Dutch law. Yeah, I guess there's Dutch law involved in this also. Dated prior to the enactment of the DPDP 2023. Consequently, the document is critically non-compliant with the DPDP Act. Key failures include absence of mandated Indian terminology, data fiduciary, data principle, etc., reliance on EU mechanisms for cross-border data transfers, and failure to incorporate DPDP specific rights, example, right to nominate and require grievances, redressal structure specific to the data fiduciary's obligation under the Indian law. Because even if our act is based on the GDPR, not everything has been transferred. Our Indian law also has new provisions and new wordings that are exclusively catered to our act. So what it says is, this is just a summary. So what it says is a full redraft is necessary to establish compliance under DPDP, particularly by replacing data controller with data fiduciary and data subject with data principal throughout the entire document, and aligning all clauses with central government notifications. Now, then it goes clause by clause. For example, apparently there's a clause that says data protection law means all applicable laws and regulations regarding the processing of personal data and includes GDPR. This data process agreement is governed by Dutch law. Any dispute arising out of in connection with this data process agreement will be settled by the court in the Netherlands. Now, what is the legal rationale behind this? The legal rationale why this fails is that the agreement fails to include or prioritize the Digital Personal Data Protection Act in its definition of data protection laws. So basically, what it's trying to say is you add our law also in this agreement for that agreement to be in compliance with the law. Furthermore, the exclusive. Sorry?
Rahul, I think your share is it's not shared anymore. Your screen, which was being shared earlier.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So so the legal rationale why this fails. So if the processing activities involve personal data of data principles in India, the DPDP 23 must constitute the primary governing law, irrespective of the use of GDPR for European data. Then furthermore, the exclusive reliance on Dutch governing law and jurisdiction is non-compliant where the obligations arise under Indian statutory law. If they are handling Indian
Again, we
data,
are not
then
able
this
to
has to
see
come.
this.
It's, I think, gone again. Sorry to interrupt.
Gone again, yeah.
I don't know why this is happening.
Okay, sure. Yeah, we can see now. Yeah.
Okay. So then it will give you a fix. The remediation to that is that DPA must explicitly incorporate DPDP 23 within the definition, which is what we said. If the customer is subject to DPDPA, then the governing law and dispute resolution clauses should reflect Indian jurisdiction or, at minimum, include mechanisms for compliance disputes under the DPDPA. So this is the fix, this is the advice. And then it will also give you a redraft. It will tell you how you can make that clause compliant. You can directly copy paste it into your existing contract, or you can add it as an addendum, or if you don't like the wordings, you can edit it and draft it yourself. So what the recommended redraft that my tool would suggest is that data protection laws means all applicable laws and regulations regarding the processing of personal data, including without limitation the DPDP Act and European GDPR. So similarly, whatever is not compliant, then there's 1.3 that says data controller means a natural or legal person for purposes of the DPA, blah 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 blah. So the recommended fix would be data fiduciary means the natural or legal person, public authority agency, or other bodies. And for the purpose of the DPA, data fiduciary is customer, blah, blah, blah. Data principal means an identified or identified natural person. And the legal rationale behind this is that the DPDP mandates the use of specific terminology to clearly delineate roles and responsibilities under Indian law, which are the terms that have been used under our act. They are essentially, they mean the same thing, but because our act specifically calls it a different name, those exact wordings have to come into the act. Oh, sorry, this contract for it to be specifically compliant with the DPDP. Because, like you see, this says the continued use of foreign terms creates legal non-compliance regarding core accountability frameworks. And then there are all these clauses that the AI tool has extracted that is not compliant, and then they give you a rating of what is high risk, what is not high risk. So this is the entire picture of why your contract is not compliant and why it will be a high risk contract, and you can attract fines if you just keep on using the same thing for compliance with the DPDP. Now, after the analysis has been done, my tool also would like extract and tag what is protected data. It will scan again through the contract, because this is just focus on the contract aspect right now. In the future, when it integrates into your entire system, it can look through your employee records, it can look through whatever businesses or process that you're handling, it will look through everything and then flag accordingly. Now, it'll look something like this. So the data inventory overview would be that the document, a DPA, confirms the processing of standard personal data, including contact details, business information, general demographics, name, address, gender, DOB. Crucially, the appendices indicate that the processing scope potentially includes high-risk data classified as sensitive under DPDP, specifically financial data, credit card, bank numbers, official government identifiers, as well as high-risk security data like usernames, passwords, etc., etc. The data controller holds sole discretion over the exact scope of data submitted. So it'll tell you what data is in contractual representative name and title. It'll extract all that into this employee and contractor data. It will auto-populate the client and business contact data trajectory and everything, name, addresses, business, personal details, communication data. So whatever is protected data under the act, it will totally extract from all your database, including the contracts, and will auto-populate all this. Now, once all this is done, then comes the most important document, which is the record of processing activities. So I don't know if it's called the same thing in the Indian context, because in Europe we used to call it the ROPA, which is the record of processing activities. It might have a different terminology in India, but it essentially means the same thing. I think it's Article 16 or 17 of the DPDP that mandates that you have to have such a live document for any audit or for any even for your own housekeeping. So my tool will then automatically populate the record of processing activities, and then it'll tell you what the process name is. Okay, provision of SaaS subscription services, data processor function, then the fiduciary, then who is the processor, then who is it, if there is any joint fiduciary involved, no. Then what is the subject category, employees, contractors, clients, businesses, etc. What is the data category, which is personal data, which is sensitive data, personal financial data, security data, etc., etc., etc. Specific data points, names, addresses.
Your sharing has gone again.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know why this is happening. Better?
Yeah. Thanks.
So specific data points and what is the lawful basis, if there is contractual necessity, if there is consent, whatever is determined by your policy, by the data fiduciary, which is again under a very important aspect of the DPDP. Then your purpose, you cannot use data except for the purpose that you're using, that you're collecting the data for. What is the source of the data? Then, what are the activities? What is the retention period? Then, what are your erasure mechanisms? What is the transfer status? If there are international transfers involved, then that has to be recorded, because Indian data cannot just willy-nilly go outside of the country unless there are SCCs, unless there are other contractual clauses and this and that. Then what are the technical measures? What are your security protocols? And what is the impact assessment status? I also want to include a DPIA, totally automate the impact assessment for the DP also, which will come in the later versions. Then another aspect is, if does your company have a DPO on board? If there is a DPO, big companies are mandated to have a DPO now. Then his details have to be, or his or her details have to be there. Then the notice ref, and then ultimately what is the compliance health of it. So this contract is critically non-compliant because the DPA is governed by the Dutch law, fails to recognize DPDPA as a governing law, uses incorrect terminology, lacks crucial DPDPA clauses regarding cross-border transfer, data principal rights, etc., etc., etc. So this is how. Oh, I'm so sorry. This is how it'll look like, and this is what the basic idea is of making a totally autonomous and totally automatic tool for a DPO and for any in-house company, in-house counsel in a company, for them to make their lives 100 times easier. And yeah, I think we're done. So I'll just run through the slides. I already covered all this. So my tool will also synergize with FDPPI, because I saw that FDPPI is doing a lot of work in this field. So it's a big boon for me also, for FDPPI to carry on the mantle to promote and to spread awareness that companies now need this. Okay, thank you so much. So if you have questions, then I'm open for the Q&A.
Thank you, Rahul. I think let others start questions. Yeah. Harish must be having some questions.
I had a question, sir.
Yeah.
Hi, Rahul. Thanks for the presentation. I just want to understand in terms of the dependency on your offering, on ClickComply. So can I in-house counsel or any other lawyer working in this space, is the reliance 100%, or would you advise certain checks and balances?
Of course, yeah. Because thanks for the question, because this poses a very important. I'm so sorry, I can hear myself.
We can hear you clearly, though.
Yeah. So one of the most important aspects is that there is human in the loop in any AI. Hello?
Sorry,
You can hear me, right?
Your voice broke, yeah, but you could repeat.
Yeah, I think some mic is on. Yeah. Yeah, I think now it's better. Yeah, so in Europe, they have passed a regulation for regulating AI. So the most important aspect of using AI is the human in the loop element. It has to go through checks and balances. I can obviously not guarantee 100% accuracy, because no lawyer can. You go to any lawyer, nobody will say that if you go through me, I guarantee you that there is not going to be any problem. What I do guarantee is that you use my tool, it will give you a high 90 more than 90% accuracy more than a lawyer, because a lawyer is prone to human errors. It will give you that accuracy, caveated by the fact that you have to have a certain set of eyes go through it. Now, for example, if you have a team of 10 in-house counsels led by one DPO, the 10 people go through 100 contracts. Once they start using my tool, a company will probably only need 2 people or 3 people at the max, just to use the tool, just to prompt it, just to get all the analysis, and then just go through it once to ensure that the results are accurate, and ensure that it I'm not just entirely relying on AI. I hope that answers your question.
Sure, thanks.
Also, I just want to add one thing, because you brought it up. My enterprise suite, which will be the highest suite, will also include lawyer services. For example, you as a DPO use my tool, and you do your entire compliance, and then you give it to us. We verify it. Then somewhere the legal liability shifts on us, so we become responsible. So I will have a team of lawyers that will also go through this, and then you will get a stamped approval and stamped okay from my team. Or even if you choose to go to another law firm, their stamp saying, okay, this is accurate, you can head for the audit, or this is accurate, you are compliant.
Sorry, on that, when you mentioned the liabilities on you, I mean, considering the penalties are so high, you know,
Yeah.
so how do you, I mean, obviously you're not taking that up, or I'm not sure how can that be taken up also. Just a clarification on that. Yeah.
Yeah, for example, now you go to a law firm. Sorry, can you mute Anupa? Because I'm hearing myself. Thank you. Even if you go to a law firm for advice and to go through your compliance or make them audit, whatever output they give is also not going to be 100%. Tomorrow, if there is still any lapse, the auditor that will come from the government will still see it and will still fine you. So what my tool will do is it will help you be compliant, but no lawyer will ever guarantee that you will never be fined. You can go to any law firm, and even in litigation or even in any other advice, lawyers never give 100% guarantee that I'm going to win the case, or I'm going to make sure that you will never get fined. Because in the end, it always comes up to the auditor. If they really want to harass you, they can do so illegally also, without any means. Even if we are totally compliant, they can still slap some fine on you, and then the only option for companies is to go to court. But what we ensure is that if you use our tool, this is still a strong backing, and this is still strong evidence for you to tell the auditor that we are totally in compliance. If it goes to court, you can show the court, this is what we have generated according to the law, according to section 6, according to section 16, 17, the ROPA leisure, everything is auto-populated. We are continuously updating it. It's not that we update it today, then it's not updated for an entire year. It is going to get automated and get auto-populated every month, every few days, whenever you wish to automate it. As soon as you get a new vendor, as soon as you feed it new data, it's automatically going to keep you updated. So when an auditor sees all that, the auditor will 100% say, okay, fine, you guys are compliant.
Rahul, some questions are there in the chat box.
Okay. Yeah.
Kamalacharya. Kamalacharya is from London.
Yes, I'm currently. I came back from Madrid. I was there till December, and I came back specifically to work on this idea. I came back specifically to build this product because I know that the troubles that companies face in Europe. And I see the same troubles and I see the same compliance gaps happening in India. And it's going to be a nightmare because, firstly, there's no awareness. Secondly, luckily, the government has given some time for companies to be compliant. So I want to be there and help them in that process where some people then don't have to spend lakhs and lakhs and lakhs of rupees on lawyers, lakhs and lakhs and lakhs of rupees on their in-house teams, or these legacy products where they charge you 50 lakhs, 1 crore per year and things like that. So yes, currently I am based in India and I indefinitely am going to be based in India.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a question. Can I ask?
Please go ahead.
Brother, very good work you have done. I'm Kodandra. Just I am traveling. If there is a disconnect, excuse me. So
No, I can hear you.
This one, it will help to, it is helping people to populate the required data, things like that. But is it going to give any suggestions on its own?
Of course. Yes.
Or reporting scheme you have done?
Yes.
Just help me with that.
Yes. So right now I'm focused on only 3 features, but my intention is to make an entire, like a complete suite where the DPO doesn't have to go anywhere. The DPO can just use my tool. It will give you all the necessary information on how to do things and what is the reasoning behind the auto population also. If something is getting fed into the ROPA under the legal basis, where is it coming from? Why is it there? It will give you everything. And it will also help you as a feature for conducting workshops in house. It will tell you what to tell your in-house counsels or your DPO for them to use the product and for them to understand what comprises of data protection compliance in India. So it will definitely do that, but it will come in the future versions. It's not going to roll out immediately.
Yeah, very good, very good. Because I am not able to get any artificial intelligence being used. To use it further, I think a lot of work need to be done. Wishing you all the best. It's only
Thank you so much.
Collecting the data, right?
Correct, exactly.
May God bless you. Very good.
Yeah, that's why I'm feeding all the data into it myself as a lawyer, and I'm making it as highly accurate as possible so that there is no discrepancy and there is no way that an auditor tomorrow will come and say you're not compliant. So yeah, thank you so much. Yes, Mr. Srivatsa, you raised your hand.
Yeah, hi Rahul.
Yeah.
I just want to understand regarding the contract that you mentioned earlier. It
Right.
appeared to me like you need to have a contract to start the workflow. Is that right? Or we can still have the workflow start off and do the data discovery or the
Of course, yes.
classification?
Yes. So right now it's the demo is contract based because the contract will have a lot of data. And contract analysis is also very important under the DPDPA because if your contracts are not DPDP compliant, then whoever is processing the data, if they make any mistake, then you're still going to be liable. So firstly, it's focused on that. But then once the product is enterprise ready, this product will integrate into the systems. It will ask all the departments for data, and then it would also do data discovery of protected data. It would also, for example, if there is the HR department, naturally will have employee data, employee Aadhaar card, employee, their salaries, their addresses, this, that. So it will take all the data, it will tag it, it will get into a list of protected data, and then it will auto populate the record of processing activities. So if the HR department is processing data of employees, when they send out job proposals, whatever resumes they get, all that data that is being fed into the company, the tool will recognize, the tool will then auto extract all that necessary information, and then it will auto populate the ROPA based on that. So for the demo part, I just showed you what it will do for contracts, but eventually your entire network and entire data set will be involved, and it will extract everything from your own data or your cloud or your server or whatever it is.
And another question that I had is you showed one of the ROPA records
Right.
during your demo.
Right.
One clarity that I did not get is that because my ignorance towards the GDPR, the
Mhm.
question has arisen. Is it a contract-based ROPA record, or is it a
No,
customer-based or a data principal-based record?
everything. Like the example I gave you now, for populating the ROPA manually, what happens in a practical situation is, as lawyers, we go to every department. We go to the HR department, we go to the procurement department, whatever it is, and we have a certain set of questions that we ask the departments. What data are you handling? Who is in charge of the data? Is it the HR admin? Is it the HR head? How are you securing it? What server is it on? Everything. So once we have all that information, then we can accurately feed all that into the ROPA, which is a manual process, which takes a lot of time, takes a lot of days, months, whatever, because departments are not easy to get a hold of. What my product will do is, it will, when it gets integrated into the system, it will shoot out all these questionnaires automatically to every department. They just have to type in the information that is required. Once that information is received by my product, by my tool, then automatically it will make you a solid, accurate ROPA. So it's not just contracts, it's everything.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Rahul. It's Kamal here. Sorry,
Yeah.
I joined a bit late. Missed maybe the cream of the presentation in the
No
start.
problem.
Just when you say that the collection of the data and all that kind of, are you expecting that because collecting the data from any organizations, specifically say manufacturing, which
Mhm.
they might have a big workforce or a small workforce, whichever, regardless, or any other
Right.
organization, um, are you targeting that all the data you say you will send the messages to all the, say, for example, 7 or 10 departments which they have, from procurement to export, import, invoicing, whichever, etc., HR particularly. What is the time frame do you think that your system will create all the data collected? Do you have a time frame within it, or is it like an open, like it could take 2 weeks, 10 weeks, just a suggestion,
Mm.
I'm just wanted to know what is the best scenario.
Yeah, so the timeline depends entirely on the speed of the company. For
Sure.
example, the my product gets integrated into the system today. Tomorrow, you give a prompt to it to send a message to all the departments that this is the questionnaire that is being sent. Please fill it. So now the onus of that is obviously going to go to the departments. Now, my product will definitely give you reminders. Excuse me. My
Right.
product will definitely periodically give you reminders that this is pending. It will also flag whatever pending tasks there are. This department has not submitted their data, so please, this is important. We have to make the ROPA. Please send your data. So it will continuously remind you. But eventually, if in the end the product is not used in the intended way that it's supposed to be used, then the product itself cannot give you a time frame of 10 weeks or 3 months or whatever it is. It all depends on how fast departments react to the questionnaires or the requisitions being sent.
Okay, got your point. Yeah, so it could be when they respond back. That I have a feeling, like please correct me.
Yeah.
Is this specifically for like a larger organizations? Because you said you have got various versions of the software rolling out.
Quite the contrary. Currently, I'm targeting MSMEs, mid-tier companies that don't have a huge budget to afford a law firm, or to afford OneTrust or other security, or those American products which cost you 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs, 1 crore. So right now, I want to focus on the mid market, and as the company grows, as it becomes more sophisticated, obviously I'm going to target the bigger whales.
Okay,
But
thank
right
you.
now, yeah.
This is okay now when you do it, but can you not
Sorry, I lost you.
go ahead and make a risk management system itself, where whatever data is entered from RMS, can you not develop this into that level where at the background this can remain and it can immediately take the inputs and give suggestions
Yes,
there itself, like RMS,
100%.
to think of
Yes,
that,
yes, yes, totally,
further improving it
totally.
rather than to real time itself. If it can work, it will be more useful for the organizations, because they don't
100%. It's
have to
going to be
think.
real
They can
time.
simply say this RMS cleared, like that they can do.
Absolutely,
And that
absolutely.
way,
This
that may
is,
help
yeah.
you. Kindly think of it. What you're
Absolutely.
doing is
You're
okay for the
100% right. And
data
this is
available,
exactly
but
what
in
I
the
wanted to do. Real-time updates and real-time compliance. I take your point, and this is exactly what the final product is going to achieve. That you don't have to worry about anything, and you're compliant on a day-to-day basis. Thank you so much for pointing that out.
you may God bless you, brother.
Thank you so much.
Rahul Kodanram is also an advocate. He was formerly with the Government of India in the GST department, a senior person who is retired and now, of course, is practicing. Now, you said you are located in India. But in India, where are you located?
My hometown is Pune. I was practicing in Bombay for the last few years, but ever since I've come back, I'm based in Pune.
Nice. Okay.
And I
Okay.
see your question.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Go ahead. I just put it as a direct question to you. Yeah.
No, I just saw your message. Can you let me know the pricing? So the pricing is tentative right now. It's being decided. Once I have an accurate estimate of the price, I will share it to you as soon as possible.
Okay. How do you think you can work with FDPPI?
We can totally collaborate because you have a solid network. And what I want to do is I want to use your framework, because I saw your framework. I have actually put it in my knowledge base. It can definitely be the gold standard for compliance in the future. So all the best to you for that. And because that is the case, whatever clients or whatever members that you have, you might have a lot of DPOs on record. You might have a lot of tech companies that you know. We can have a collaboration where through you, I sell my product to them, and then we can work out any arrangement that we can.
Okay. Because even in some of the ongoing projects which our people are handling, this is the first task which we have to work on, like contract management, discovery. After this, only the structuring of the consent management system comes. So actually, we
That's
are
a much later thing. You're right.
in the preliminary thing itself, and
You're absolutely right.
it has taken 5-6 months in one of the companies which we handled, because we are going through the manual route. That just as you said, meet all the departmental heads, discuss with them, give them a questionnaire, wait for them to understand what we are asking. Okay.
Perfect.
and then get a response, then again discuss it 2-3 iterations before we understand what exactly they are willing to commit. Okay, even if we understand, and unless they also accept our interpretation, we cannot go ahead.
Right.
So that takes a lot of time. So
Right.
this should be very useful actually. What you are doing is good. We can always fine tune it to our DGPSA framework, because our DGPSA
Right.
framework also updating every day kind of a thing. Whenever something new comes, we have to incorporate
Yeah.
it in the at least implementation layer. So
Mhm.
it will be useful. Yeah. Sanket has got something to say.
Yes, good evening, Navis sir. Good evening, Rahul. Amazing presentation. I
Good
am
evening.
a practicing advocate. I am based out of Mumbai and Pune. So
Okay,
I have
perfect.
a few suggestions for your product. I want to
Hmm.
discuss it in detail with you. I've
Sure.
connected with you on LinkedIn. If
Hmm.
possible, let's connect, meet in person, and discuss how we can take it further. So product, the prototype and beta phase looks very promising. I also do some DPDP compliances and contract reviewing in the field. So I want to see how the product can be tailored or customized for even not only for the bigger companies, but also for the law firms and lawyers.
Yeah, yeah,
So
sure.
let's
No
connect and
problem.
discuss whenever we meet in person.
No problem. I'll give you my number so you can connect with me whenever.
Sure, sure, sure.
Yeah. Any other questions, friends? What is the timeline, Rahul? When do you think you will be ready for the next level of, say, product demo with a client or something like that?
So the POC, the proof of concept, is almost ready. It will probably take a few more days or a week because, as you know, I'm a lawyer. I'm not a technical person, so I'm outsourcing it.
Yeah.
So once that is out, once the proof of concept is out, then I will definitely connect with you, and then I'll tell you that now it's demo ready, and then you can sell
We
to
can
clients based on that.
we can test it on some of the Indian contracts. Then we will have
Yes.
a better view of things. Okay.
Enjoyed the session and thank you very much. All the very best, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.